If you saw Death First Son in Virginia, you might remember a little controversy over a courtroom camera. Now, this here is slightly different. We might have footage of the ski crash in the Gwyneth Paltrow case. However, the point is, Johnny's side wanted the camera, Amber's side didn't. Johnny's side had the evidence and the facts, and they wanted everyone to see what happened and everything that would come out. So I think that showed innocence, and time proved that. So in this case here, we already have a court cam, but the person who wants to see the video footage of the ski crash, I think probably has the truth on their side. Or at least in their heart, they think they have the truth. It was a real quick thing, so they might not even know themselves exactly what happened, but I would definitely think if your heart was in the right place and you were being honest, you'd want to see that footage. That's what we'll talk about here. This is from ABC4 News. It says, Day 5 GoPro footage of Gwyneth Paltrow ski crash may be found. Terry Sanderson takes the stand from March 27th, 2023. Let's see what we got. So they say Terry took the stand on Day 5 and he discussed his version of his mental health since the incident. Then it goes on to say, that testimony just came minutes after the court revealed that a viewer in the case was finally able to access an internet link believed to hold GoPro footage of the crash. While the jury was informed of the possible footage and both the plaintiffs and the defense agreed the contents were authentic, it has not been played for the jury or the public, nor were any other contents behind the link made available. Which I hope it will be, because that's very important. That would probably put this thing to bed. Sanderson has long held to the notion that someone at Deer Valley Resort must have had a running camera while on the slopes on the day of the crash. While both legal teams have had access to the link for some time now, neither was able to access any data behind the link before this week. Sanderson has not been in the courtroom for much of the trial except Friday when he attended while Paltrow was on the stand. Sanderson testified that he chose to stay out of the courtroom while two of his daughters testified last week, saying he wanted them to speak totally freely. While Sanderson's attorney asked some questions about his relationship with his daughters, the two mostly spoke about the crash itself. According to Sanderson, he had met up with a group of semi-regular friends to ski at Deer Valley Resort. Despite being a lifelong skier and describing himself as advanced intermediate in skill, he had never been to the resort prior to that day. Sanderson testified that he and his group started down the resort's bandana run on the way to another run they wanted to try. The group was told by a more experienced skier to stay to the sides of the run since it was usually very busy. He testified that he saw at least 2 large signs telling skiers to slow down and said he did. Okay, so we have a hint here that he's thought there might be some video footage. They don't say whether he wanted that, if he thinks it should be shown in court to the public, but the fact that he put it out there that he knew about it, I'd say is a positive sign for him at least. He gives a few more details about the actual crash. He claims he was hit from behind, feeling fists and pulls in his upper back, which sent him flying. He said when he was airborne, all he saw was a lot of snow. Alright, I mean, if you're flying through the air, I doubt you're going to look and be like, hey, that's Gwyneth Paltrow from Shakespeare in Love. I know her, she hit me. Probably, yeah, you're just going to see snow, I guess. Or the sky. Then he gives some more little details about falling down, stuff like that. He said he got up in the snow afterwards and he couldn't speak. They then quote him saying, I was thinking I've got to placate this guy, said Sanderson. If he wanted to jump on me right now, he could finish me off. He added that he did not know who the man was. He also noted he had no memory of a woman yelling at him, though Paltrow testified Friday that she had yelled at Sanderson as he lay on the ground after the crash. I mean, to be fair, if you're kind of knocked out, sounds can kind of go in and out and things like that. Maybe almost like when you're really, really drunk, sounds kind of are very loose. So yelling or talking or whatever might not be clearing your memory. I could see that. I'm not going to hold the guy to remember every last detail exactly how it happened because it was such an abrupt thing. It happened so quickly. He said he had throbbing pains from his ribs, which he stated he broke his ribs. I don't know if there's evidence on that. I'd assume there should be. And once again, he said his mentality had changed. he couldn't interact with people quite as well after the crash. Could be. I don't know. Can't say. No way for us to say, really. So, the thing I was really interested about is the camera, and they only have one little paragraph about it, but it does hint to the fact that he knew about it, which I guess implies that maybe he wanted it, he wanted to see it. If I hear Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't want to see it, she doesn't want the footage out in public, that kind of thing, well, I'm going to have to say, I understand you don't want it out in public, but to prove your side of the story, you should want to see it. So essentially, the person who wants the camera, I would think, probably had the truth on their side, but we won't know yet. Let me know what you think down below. Doing shout outs, special thanks, things like that. Pop culture. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.